Hi everyone, my name is Jonas, I'm the founder of Beezy, and today I'll be showing you the funnel I use to raise funds for a startup on LinkedIn and almost exclusively on LinkedIn. I already raised 2 rounds using this technique. It worked really well for us, and that's why we had a lot of people actually asking us how we did it and how we went about it, so I just thought I'd record it as a little YouTube video, I guess, which is going to make it a lot easier to share around, of course. So just before I start, you might hear me swearing and talking a lot, both of them. So just get used to that, get ready for that, I guess. I'll try to keep it short, hopefully less than 15-20 minutes, but we'll see how that goes. I didn't prepare much. I'm just going to kind of go through things, so please kind of bear with me, and I'll try to reply to any questions you might have, either in the comments if I post it on YouTube, or I don't know, reach out to me via email or something like that. Yeah, so in very short, what we're going to start by doing is kind of creating a target list, so a list of all the people that you actually want to connect with. Second step is start connecting with them with a nice little message. Everything that is in blue actually here on this slide is a maybe, I guess. Step 3 is that hopefully they reply to your first connection message, I guess, and so you can stop the automatic follow-ups and move directly to the step number 4, 5, and 7. If they don't, then you go straight to number 4, which is kind of automatic follow-up message. Hopefully then they reply to that automatic follow-up message. If they don't, well, too bad, I guess. You add them to your CRM and you schedule a meeting. Sometimes they give you your email, for example, and so you kind of add them to the CRM, follow up via email, and then schedule a meeting. So yeah, that might, I'll just kind of take you through it and show you how it goes. With this technique, we've been able to connect with over, I think, 500 new investors every day. So that was quite cool, and just kind of fill out my day with just meetings all over the place. So we've actually managed to raise our goal, like raise our total round in 3 weeks instead of the planned 3 months. So that was pretty cool, and honestly with not so much work, I guess. It's just fully automated, so that is quite exciting, and you can really focus on your pitch deck, improving your pitch and your presentations, your documentations, and actually engaging with with investors, instead of just spending your day searching for investors. Yeah, so just let's get started. So what are you going to need? Google Sheets, LinkedIn, Phantom Buster. I'm going to take you through this little baby right here afterwards. Phantom Buster, it's magic. You're going to love it for sales as well. HubSpot or any other CRM, to be honest. Zapier, Woodpecker, or Lemlist, or whatever you want to reach out for cold emails. And then you're going to need a proxy. I use Luminati, which turned into Bright Data. It's really cheap. Honestly, you can do all of this for free, like with free accounts all over the place. I actually have a little spreadsheet with like bots and automations and fake profiles, etc., with like a little army of fake profiles on LinkedIn, fake emails, etc. So you can do this for like zero money at all if you want. But if you're actually going to do this seriously, it's worth investing a tiny bit. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is actually create a new spreadsheet, make sure that everybody can view it and edit it. Let's just define kind of the keywords that you want to target. So these are the keywords that you want to search for on LinkedIn and kind of scrape LinkedIn and get all the profiles that match that keyword. Here, for example, if we're fundraising, let's go for angel investor, angel investor as well, VC, etc. Just add as many keywords as possible. You should know that if you're not doing a sales navigation search on LinkedIn, you can only see 1,000 profiles at once. So even if you search for investor and there are 1 million people, you will only be able to get 1,000 profiles. So the more keywords you get, the more links you get, the longer your list, I guess. And to be honest, fundraising is really a numbers game, so it doesn't really matter how. The more accurate you can be, of course, the better, but this is really a numbers game. You should be aiming to send as many emails and as many intros as possible, instead of just sending 5 highly targeted, but you think they're going to be perfect for you, they just don't reply to you, you're fucked, you know. So you aim to send as many emails as possible. So let's just start slow with angel investor. Let's go, for example, for investor here. The only thing I do, and this is just like kind of the easy version, then afterwards you can make it even more interesting. You can improve it on this however you want. There are a lot of possibilities. So let's say, for example, I search for investor, search inside people, and for whatever reason I want to limit my search to investors in Germany, or you could go for American investors, UK, whatever you want, or just not limit it at all. But for this one, I'm going to put German investors, I guess. So I'm just gonna copy this link here, paste it here, which I already did, and yes, great. Okay, I have my little list of links. Now, next thing that we're gonna do is actually, let me just open a new little page for this one. Should have done this before. We're gonna go on Phantom Buster. Phantom Buster is kind of a suite of code-free automations and data extraction tools, whatever that means, but it's actually really amazing, and you can just kind of connect bots that do a lot of different things on many different social networks, etc. So, which is quite cool. So you can even, for this one, I just kind of created a free account. You have 14 days and 1 hour of execution time per day. Execution time is kind of your bot running and doing stuff. Let's start with LinkedIn. We go in LinkedIn, you see that you have a lot of bots here. You even have like workflows. And if you go into knowledge and definitely read the blog, they have amazing articles and you can use their templates, which are really, really cool. But for this one, I'm just going to do it old fashioned way. Let's just go, I guess. The bots we're going to use is LinkedIn Network Booster. We're going to use LinkedIn Search Export, and then LinkedIn Message Sender. So the first one that we're going to start with is LinkedIn Search Export, which I have right here. So I already used it. Let me just, these are kind of the three bots that I selected. So the first one was LinkedIn Search Export, then we're going to send it to Network Booster, and then third one to Message Sender. So let's start with LinkedIn Search Export. I'm going to come here, set up. This is what I see. So you're going to have a little prompt to ask you to add a little plugin into Google Chrome or Firefox, just so that you can kind of get your cookies from LinkedIn. So you just connect and get your cookies and it's perfect. Otherwise, you're going to have to go and do it manually. It's a whole mess. Just connect to LinkedIn, get your cookies. Yes, go. And then here you're going to paste the spreadsheet that we created before with the links to the targets that we want to message, I guess. Just make sure that this spreadsheet is publicly visible, and then here just input the column name that where you put the links. So for me, the column name is link, and that is it. Okay, save. Next one here. Honestly, for this time, I just scraped 100 profiles just to show you very quickly, but just get as many as possible. So just leave it empty. 1,000 people per searches. How many searches, how many lines on the spreadsheet to process, just leave it empty. You can actually connect the bots between themselves in Phantom Buster, so they just kind of launch repeatedly and one after the other, but this is not what we're going to do with this one. So I would just say to just get all of them, scrape all the links and the keywords that you can, just all in one go. So you have a huge spreadsheet and that's it, and it's your spreadsheet, and yeah, it's there. Just make sure to select remove duplicate profiles between different searches. You might, if you search for angel and investor, you might have some people that are double. You can change the name of your file, whatever. Next, launch. This time we're just going to put it manually because you just want to launch it once, get all the links, and you can even delete this bot. So just manually this, whatever, mix new and old files, we don't care. Then if you don't see this, just go here and select show advanced settings, and then you can go into proxies. You will need to use a proxy because Phantom Buster servers are in North America. So if you're based, for example, in Germany, it's going to connect to your LinkedIn, and after 5 minutes, your account is you're not going to lose it, but it's blocked, and you're going to probably maybe change password or whatever. That's pretty annoying. So use a proxy. For this, I use Bright Data. It's quite straightforward. I think they even have a tutorial on how to use them together. But just I put like 20 euros once, and it's lasted me over 6 months. I still have like 15 or 10 euros on it, so it's really, really cheap. Username, password, whatever, notifications if you want, doesn't matter. Okay, and let's go, let's open it. You're gonna launch it. Okay, let's just launch. And once it launches, if you want to be able to see this, you can toggle the console so that you can actually see what it is doing. So yes, it connected to the spreadsheet, it found the lines, great, it's starting to connect to my LinkedIn, I hope it works. Down here you can kind of see all the other launches that you had, I guess. So one didn't work, I manually stopped it, the other one was success, great, yes, amazing, it managed to connect to my LinkedIn account, and now it's gonna start scraping, and it's gonna, okay, I've got 10 profiles from page 11, great, and then it's gonna keep going. I'm just gonna stop it for now because I don't actually need it. But once you did this the first time, you're gonna be able to actually see your results files right here. So you can just simply preview it. You can copy the link. So this is the really cool thing. The step where we actually inputted the link to the spreadsheet, you could have, if you wanted, inputted another result file from another bot. So you can kind of link these bots together one after the other, but this is not what we're gonna do. So just kind of download the spreadsheet and copy paste it. I just copy pasted all the results into here. So this is what you're gonna get. This is what you're gonna get. So you're gonna get URL, the link to the profile, name, first name, full name, first name, last name, lots of information. Honestly, you probably don't need this information. It's cool to have it, but most of the time when I was just kind of in a hurry and lazy, I just kept the link. Sometimes just the link, sometimes just link and first name, last name, or full name, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. The only thing we really care about, to be honest, is the link. This is where I can actually see the person's profiles and go on there and target them. Okay, so I'm just gonna close this store. I'm gonna close our little bot that we already used for now, and then we're gonna come here into the network booster. So just when I go to the dashboard, LinkedIn network booster. So network booster, what it's actually gonna do is individually go on each person's profiles, ask them to join your network, and actually send a little message. On LinkedIn, you can actually send a little message when you try to connect with somebody. I think it's 300 characters. So use that message, definitely write something on there. So let me just go into setup. Yeah, again, connect to LinkedIn, great. Then here, profiles to invite. What we're gonna do is then simply come here, get my little spreadsheet. Sorry, this is where we need to go. Get my little spreadsheet. Yeah, okay. By default, we'll use the first column of your spreadsheet, column A. Is it column A? Yes, it is. Beautiful, not touch anything. Let's go. Here, then I have actually my first little message that I'm gonna send. So when you use, for example, hashtag first name thing, it's actually gonna replace and actually use the person's first name, which is pretty cool. You actually have other things like that you can use as well. This is the little message that I was sending for a long time. So for example, hey, I'm the founder of Beezy, a collaborative B2B marketplace for content production. Drop a little link on there. We've hit some major goals and we're raising a 150K round. We're hoping to get some valuable advice. Always ask for advice. If you want investment, if you ask for investment, you only get advice. I learned that from Tienko from Leap Funder. It's actually very true. Would it be all right to share a deck with you? I ask, but already dropped the link to the deck, of course, because I just want them to look at it. As many people that can look at it, if they send it to their friends, I don't just send it to as many people as you can, honestly. Yeah, that's it. Just make sure that it stays in 300 characters, and remember that some people have really long names. So this uses a certain number of characters, but you might have somebody that has an incredibly long name. So if you have if this whole message is 298 characters, some people are not going to get the message, just the invite, but not the actual content of the message, which is pretty sad. Save number of invites per launch, 10. 10 is completely fine. You can script the profile if you want. At this point, we don't really care. Advanced settings, yeah, you can send number of seconds to wait. Skip profiles that couldn't be added after 2 attempts. Yes, because you don't want to waste too much time on those. You don't want to repeat it so many times. And then you can simulate LinkedIn's dwell time. So it's going to kind of wait approximately 1 minute on each profile, which is great because then you can actually scrape and use LinkedIn more, I guess, and send more messages and more stuff on LinkedIn. But it's really slow. And since we're paying for a Phantom Buster with kind of daily time, I guess we have 1 hour here of execution time remaining. Each minute that it's running is actually 1 minute that you're not going to be able to use it. So for now, I'm just going to leave it there. Save email discovery. You can kind of use the Phantom Buster thing or connect to any other tool to kind of discover that person's emails. At this point, we don't care. Yeah, and then settings. This is where it gets interesting. Again, remember to show advanced settings repeatedly. And this one, I'm actually going to put it at 8 times per day. This is probably the maximum that I can recommend at this point. If you go more than 8 times per day, your account is probably going to get blocked. Maybe if you're actually not super active on LinkedIn, don't go straight to 8 times per day. Maybe go for twice a day at the beginning, and then little by little, you kind of ramp it up all the way to 8 times per day. And then when I'm in a hurry, sometimes I put it 4 times per hour just for a couple hours, but whatever. I'm getting off topic. Yeah, okay, folder management. Again, proxies, here we go again. Put your proxy, definitely put it in. Save. And that's it. That's honestly it. Let's go. Let's launch it. Great. And now 10 profiles per launch, I guess, at 8 times a day. That's already 80 profiles that you're adding every day. And now you're even taking it easy. If you want, you can kind of scale that up quite fast, either with multiple profiles or with just better messages and better everything, I guess. So fuck, maybe I'll have to talk about this actually. Maybe I'll make another video on how you can go above 80 profiles, because you can do a lot more than that, but it takes some more time. Doesn't matter. Okay, so now you can see that I launched the bot. It's running. It actually managed to connect to my LinkedIn account. Great. It started processing different profiles and started sending messages. A couple of them are already in my network. And now it added one guy, send the message, okay, successful, great. And then it goes to the next one and the next one, and then it's gonna stop by itself and then just gonna keep on running. Great, that's pretty great. At this point, I'm just gonna stop it as well. I don't need it. Then this is where it gets interesting. So you can do different things. At this point, once you send an invitation to somebody, you're gonna have a lot of people accepting your networking request, and a lot of them are actually going to reply to your message. Of course, it depends on the quality of your message, but a lot of them are going to reply. So the thing is that we actually want to send a follow-up message, especially here using the message sender, because if they accepted you, the follow-up message can include a lot more text than just 300 characters. So that's where you can go crazy and actually drop all your bullet points and all your information and all your links, etc., etc. So we do want to set up a second follow-up message that maybe sends a message like, let's say, a week or two after the first one, so that you give them time to accept you in the network. But you don't want to follow up automatically if the person already replied to you. Otherwise, you're going to get discovered that you're using a bot. Some people like it, some people don't, but you're going to look pretty stupid. That's a problem. And so here, when you use the message sender, actually, if you go here at the end, I'm just going to go through this very quickly and then I'll come back. You actually have conditions for sending messages. So you can send only if the last message was from me, which is a follow-up, or you could do it as a reply or all. I would suggest to do the follow-up thing, but honestly, I do not fully trust it yet. So what I would do is simply find a way here with your profiles, the links that you have, either duplicate it, or maybe you can use the same spreadsheet or something, but just make sure that your bot, the message sender, cannot find the link of somebody who already accepted you. So when I'm being lazy, like the easy version is that when I'm configuring message sender, I again input the same spreadsheet here, exactly the same list. I just simply launch it maybe a week after, or instead of starting with 8 a day, I'm gonna start with once a day and then make it faster, like in 2 weeks from now or something like that. And then if, for example, I see that this Jens replied to my message, I'll just delete him. And that's it. And so that way, so the message sender actually is not going to be able to see it. Otherwise, you can simply make a second spreadsheet and delete it from the second spreadsheet. Or, of course, use one of the templates from Phantom Buster, which actually works amazing for this. And they have exactly this in mind. But we're trying to keep it easy for now. So whatever, let's just finish setting up our funnel. Let's go to the third one. Again, dashboard, message sender, yes. Setup, cookies, again, save, select LinkedIn users. This time I'm gonna put exactly the same spreadsheet once again. Yes, and you can see you can use my phantoms. So this means that you can actually connect it. If I wanted, I could actually connect the message sender to only send messages to the people who have actually accepted my, well, to whom I've actually sent a request, because I'll actually have a spreadsheet that comes out from this, from the network booster. So this could work, but it's just kind of extra complications. What would be interesting if you want to add another step in the middle is actually setting another bot that is going to check if the person actually accepted your invitation. If they did, then you send a message, but we're complicating it. So sorry, I'm starting to talk a lot again. So the spreadsheet is here. The message is this one. It's a really long message. I can just kind of go through it very quickly. This, I would just kind of be creative, tell the information that you want to tell, but the main goal is actually not for them to reply to you in any particular way or take a decision right now. It's to get a meeting. That's what you want. You want to get a meeting with them, schedule a call. And so, hey, first name, I hope you're doing okay given the current circumstances. This is just so that if by any reason they had already replied, maybe it doesn't look like I didn't see it and it's a bot, but just whatever, I'm following up in a weird way or whatever it is. Beezy has been growing quite a lot, like crazy recently. We finally reached some very important milestones and are ready to keep growing even further. I'd love to get some feedback on our deck if possible. Current status, I had more stuff here, but just kind of add some bullet points. And then again, here's our deck, link to the deck, more info I was raising on LeapFunder, so kind of link to LeapFunder. And please let me know if you have any questions or feedback for us. I'd love to jump on a quick call to hear your thoughts, and feel free to schedule a call with me. And I dropped the link from HubSpot to book a meeting with me. So now you have it as well. You can book meetings with me. Looking forward to hearing back from you. That's it. yeah, behavior again, 10 per day, 10 per launch again. Yes, send only if the last message was from me, as we said before. This I don't care. Save email discovery again, I don't care. Repeatedly, yeah, remember again to show advanced settings 8 times per day, proxy all over the place. Let's go. We can start sending messages and we're good to go. Yeah, I don't actually need to send a message, but it's just gonna send a message. At this point, I would say just for the message sender, sorry, I already said it, but I'm just gonna repeat it again. When you start, especially if you do this everything in the same day, like it might take you 20 minutes to do this, you can launch the network booster really hard, go faster. I guess you can go to 8 times per day, etc. But if you do that, then actually maybe keep this at, let's say, twice per day for a couple days, so that the other one has time to go faster, and then you can put this one at the same speed, but only once it actually has some space. You don't want to send a message like 5 minutes after you actually send the first message, the network invitation, or they're not gonna have time to accept you. So at least a week, maybe even 2 weeks is actually quite good. And yeah, that's it. Then let me just close these two. We already have them. I'm gonna go here to the dashboard. Another one that you could use, but it's not actually not part of the thing, but just fuck, I'm already at 21 minutes. This is actually not part of the funnel, but just kind of helps, is LinkedIn auto withdraw. So you might have a lot of people who you actually send a network invite to, and they're just not gonna accept it. And so you're gonna see that you still have that pending invite, and it's not good to have too many of those. So you can just kind of set this phantom, this bot, I guess, phantom, to go and withdraw automatically all those invites, and you can set it so that you always have 2,000 invites, and if you are 2,500, it's gonna try to get you back to 2,000, as much as possible. So that's just a good thing to have on top if you have the space, if you have the time per day, the execution time per day, and the space here enough phantoms. But well, okay, let's go back. So what we did here, we did create our target list, we did start connecting. Now it's kind of what happened. The interesting thing is kind of what happens with the replies from the people. So the first thing that I would say, which I forgot to mention at the beginning, is definitely have a spreadsheet here, or not a spreadsheet, but a doc, I guess, with all your generic answers. So I have answers for everything. I spam people everywhere, and so here for B2B, for investors, I have all types of answers. If I have to reactivate them, if they're interested, they want to see the pitch, that I want to send them the pitch deck over LinkedIn, over email. If I need to start a conversation, they're not interested, whatever. Just, have your basic answers that you can quickly copy paste. Most of the time, you'll see people say exactly the same things. And at this stage, if you're just trying to get some feedback and actually get a meeting with them, nobody's gonna, or very few people are gonna send you lots of questions and lots of anything at this point. They might just ask you for your email or ask you to send them the pitch deck via email. So if somebody replies, I send them my LinkedIn reply, which is pretty much exactly the same as the message I sent on the message sender, just explaining a little bit more about Busy, saying that I want to get some feedback and would you be available for a short little call? Great. And at this point, they can kind of just go book a meeting with me, or you just kind of figure out how to schedule a meeting with them. What is interesting though, is actually when somebody gives you their email address, you'll see a lot of investors, you send the network invite like, hey, can you get some feedback? Like, yeah, of course, please send me the deck to this email address. That's where it gets cool. So you take that email address and you add it to your CRM. I use HubSpot, for example. And so this is what I do. I have email address, test@gmail.com, first name, test, last name, whatever. And then I created some properties inside HubSpot. So I have, this is for sales, but these are the two that we care about right now: investor and launch investor follow-up sequence. So is it an investor? Yes, it's an investor. Launch investor follow-up sequence? Yes. I create the contact. Great. Now that my contact has been created, let's load. I kind of put it as a rule. So inside contacts, I have my lists, and I have one list which is specifically for the people who, yes, are investors and yes, are ready for the follow-up sequence. So I have this list, and then I have my little Zap here inside Zapier. That's, this one. No, sorry, this one. So it creates or updates prospect in campaign in Woodpecker when a new contact is in list in HubSpot. So as soon as I do this, pretty much, as soon as I say that, yes, this person is investor, and yes, this person, I can launch the follow-up sequence, they're added into the list on HubSpot. And as soon as they're into the list, which automatically, Zapier sends them to Woodpecker. It could be Woodpecker, it could be Lemlist, anything else that you use for cold emails. And so I send them here into Woodpecker, and they start receiving this follow-up email, which is great. Honestly, pretty much the same one as the message sender again, but it just allows you more flexibility. And this is where you can kind of do cold email quite fast, and you'll kind of put out your links, put your pitch deck, your round, your schedule a call, whatever. And then you can, again, inside Woodpecker, I can also do another follow-up sequence again. So you wait 5 days, and then, hey, I know that you're a really busy person, especially given the current circumstances, but I was wondering if you had time to go through my last email. Great, and probably they're gonna reply, hopefully. So let me just send this. And that's it. And so that way, that was kind of easier to kind of take them from email. And then what I would do as soon as they reply via email is actually try to schedule a meeting with them. Don't ask them to schedule a meeting with them. Just now you have their email, put it in the calendar. You just open Google Calendar, you put the meeting with them for 3 days from now in the morning, and you send them an email saying, hey, I just booked a meeting with you for Wednesday morning, hoping you'll be available. If not, feel free to schedule a meeting with me at another time, and you put the meeting there. But you have to make it clear and just not waste any time. Just go straight for the meeting. If you put it in the calendar, I thought it was rude at the beginning, but more often than not, people just kind of take the meeting and that's it. And usually if they don't take it, they reschedule it at another point, but at least it was clear that, hey, we're gonna fucking meet. Today we're gonna meet at some point. Yeah. Did I forget something? I hope not. Use Bright Data, I guess, as a proxy, or Illuminati works amazing, or you can use any other proxy as well. Just put it as close as possible to your actual home so that LinkedIn doesn't feel like you're transporting, I guess, or moving from continent to continent every minute. Got your generic answers. You can use Lemlist or Woodpecker, etc. for follow-up sequences. I also have a second bot here which updates HubSpot contact with a reply from Woodpecker so that I can see it in my notes. I would be able to see it here actually, what they replied directly inside the HubSpot, so they can keep everything in the same place, have your replies ready, and be ready to just kind of get some meetings. As soon as you launch this, it's actually going to go quite fast, and you should be ready to just book your day full of meeting, and your job is to pitch, and then maybe 15 minutes at night you can just kind of check the bots and go. Maybe just one little thing. A lot of people actually, when I explained this to them, were kind of confused or not very comfortable with the fact that you're getting in touch with so many people. But especially when you're dealing with investors, if you're actually respectful of their time and you just send them actually just ask for feedback, and send a pitch deck, etc. Worst case, they're not interested, then they're just gonna tell you, I'm not interested. And like, okay, thanks a lot for getting back to me anyways, no problem at all. And that's it. So it's not a problem. Nobody's actually getting mad at you or anything because you got in touch with them. That's actually never happened to me, and I've spammed a lot of people. So that's not actually that's not the problem. And the other thing is that you always have this idea that you want to target really precisely who you want to work with. I agree with that, but not fully. I don't think that's the full story. Like, it's really good to have a couple of investors that you know that you want to work with, that you want to have on board because of their skills, network, knowledge, expertise, whatever it is. And that's definitely something I would suggest you do on the side as well. So that's something you're not going to automate, but actually do a little bit more manually. But fundraising in the end is really more of a numbers game. In order to actually raise your round, you're going to need to get in touch with as many people as possible, knowing that most of those people are going to tell you no, and you just hope that a small fraction is going to listen to you. And so the bigger that number, the more chances you have to actually get in touch with someone. So I would say definitely go big at this point, go really big, and then just maybe make sure that you keep track, keep your spreadsheet somewhere so that next time you go fundraise, you don't spam them again with the exact same fucking message. Or that happened to me, it's embarrassing. Yeah. And schedule your meeting and raise your round, I guess. Yeah, and then be happy. And if anybody asks you, do you use any bots? How did you find me, etc.? Just be honest. Some people didn't like it, but most people actually thought that this was really cool. And if you can do this sort of stuff for fundraising, the assumption is that you can do even crazier stuff if you're actually doing sales or marketing, etc. So nobody's actually mad at this, and a lot of people are actually interested in how you do this. And so just be honest with them. Dude, I use a bot, automations on LinkedIn. Check out this tutorial, and you send them the link to this tutorial. And yeah, that's it. I should have done my shameless little plug at the beginning, but I'm going to do it at the end. I'm the founder of Beezy, which is a collaborative B2B marketplace for content production. So yeah, content production made easy. We have customers like Zalando, Babbel, Delivery Hero, TaxFix, etc. that come to us to produce the content they need for marketing purposes or whatever else. Photos, videos, podcasts, live streams, whatever you want. And we match them with all the equipment, talents. Talents means photographers, filmmakers, makeup artists, etc. and locations that they need. Locations, beautiful apartments, photo studios, etc. So in short, we just make it really easy for you to produce the content and also really cheap and pretty cool. I mean, look at these landing pages. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that's it actually. I'm happy that it was only 30 something minutes and not an hour. Definitely let me know if you have any questions. I'm always ready to, I always like to collaborate and help people out. So just drop some comments under the YouTube video. I'll try to reply to as many as possible, or just send me an email. I'll probably put it in the description. And yeah, don't hesitate to ask any questions. I'll definitely be here to help. And just last words, definitely explore Phantom Buster even for other ways and how you can connect things differently. It's amazing. This was actually just the tip of the iceberg. This is extremely simple. If you want to do this properly, you can kind of go a lot crazier. So I would definitely recommend just read their blog, do a little bit of research. Definitely check out Zapier as well. And yeah, that's it. Thanks again, and see you soon. Bye.